Welcome back to another Workshop Wednesday. I am so excited because I have a special guest today to share some insights from somewhere we were together this weekend, and that is Model My Home's resident realtor, Daniel. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday, Daniel. We're
So glad.
yes,
So glad to be here.
we're still hyped up from the weekend. So
Yeah,
Wednesday.
absolutely. Anytime you can get in the room with a billionaire, go for it. Do it every time.
And ask the question, right?
That's
So
right.
today's topic we're going to go through is our 10X takeaways from the Grant Cardone 10X Business Boot Camp. So you're probably wondering, like, why is this important to me? If you own a business, and it doesn't matter what industry it's in, these are all foundational principles that we learned this weekend from those who are killing it. And so we got this giant book that we went through. I mean, this is a lot of good content. This is a $10,000 book right here, I would
Filled
assume.
it up. Filled it up.
Yep. And so we were there for 3 days. It was amazing. And so I wanted to chat with Daniel about his takeaways from the realtor perspective, because we love having Daniel as our resident realtor because he's able to speak directly to our staging businesses and give them a little insight into what the realtor's mind is like. And if we know what the realtor's mind is like, we're more likely to be able to do business with them. And so it was such an amazing time. And we're going to go over, in fact, all day today. I have been building our sales mastermind training guide is what my big task today was. And let me tell you, there was a lot of takeaways from in here that we're implementing into this sales training. And so we'll be in Las Vegas for that in just 2 weeks. So we're kind of tweaking it a little bit for the things that we learned, and so that we can implement them into our businesses, including scripts for your salesperson. So you're not going to want to miss that. So let's just jump right in, Daniel. What was your big overall, from a realtor perspective, takeaway, like your 30,000 foot takeaway of this event?
Yeah, I think there was so much focus on promotion. And that's really, I've even talked in my 2-minute tips before about promotion is the biggest part of sales and the biggest part of marketing for realtors, because you can't talk somebody into buying or selling a home. It happens when it happens. And so your job is to be top of mind. Everybody knows 2 or 3 realtors. You got to be in that 2 or 3. That's how you get known. That's how you get sales, is just being known. So promotion is huge. And there are 3 rules of promotion where promote, right? But the biggest takeaway was one of Grant's quotes. And he said, the best product never beats the best known product. And that is, man, that really struck home. I mean, you could make up the best widget or whatever it is in the world, and if nobody ever hears about it, it's not going to sell. It's never going to get out to the masses. It's never going to help anybody. So if your product helps people and does good, yay, good for you. You should have a good product. But you know what? If nobody ever knows about it, the best known product is going to beat yours every time. So part of the job of promotion is just to make sure that people know you. Be known. Get out there and use every channel you can to make yourself known, because the best product never beats the best known product. It seems elementary, but man, how important is that?
Right. Which leads me to, if you're thinking, I know I can hear all my stager friends talking and thinking right now, like, well, how many ways can I, say what my product is? How can I promote? Well, one of the things we got in the book is all the different ways, how many posts you do per day. I'm putting my hand over this so you can't screenshot it while I'm talking to you. But they have a beginner's plan here. How can you promote? And they also have Grant Cardone's plan, what they actually do. So if you know who Grant Cardone is, then it's more than likely you've received 5,623 million emails from him, because he promotes. And so I think that's so important, because I do think that, in general, staging businesses will promote on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We'll promote on the basics, and then we're like, well, now what? Well, we'll send out an email here and there, but you really have to 10x your promotion and talk about it all the time, all day, every day. Another thing that they said there is don't assume they've seen it. Like if you're thinking about your post and talking about what you do and how the benefits of staging and redesign, just because you did a post about it today, don't assume that your sphere of influence saw that. You want to keep doing those things. You want to be relentless in informing your community of what you do, how it can help them, and the problem that it solves for them.
Yeah, and just don't limit yourself to just about your product. He said, "Are you hiring? Do you have positions opening?" And everybody should all the time, because guess what? You don't know when that person walks in what they bring with them. So are you promoting all the time that you have space available? Is there a your URL/careers? Because there should be, because that's promotion, and that's something you could go on every other day and talk about that you need people. And that's promotion, just making yourself known. And
Yeah.
they literally gave us 2 pages of ways, because you mentioned the 5,000 emails. That's just from his emails. If you saw
Right.
his Facebook or his YouTube or his Twitter or his, keep going down the list, there's literally 30 or 40 different ways that they are constantly getting their message out.
Yeah, that is so true. And then also just thinking about, are you as a staging business owner, it doesn't matter where your business is at right now, you are always looking for that next best talent. Point in case, just always having that open. Now, if you're not actively like inside hiring, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be getting resumes coming across your desk and taking time to review them, because you never know who might be looking for a job, and that might be a great investment. Don't wait until you're in dire need of a replacement to start accepting applications. That's just going to put you in a bad position.
Absolutely. And my other takeaway from this same exact topic on promotion is another quote from Grant Cardone. It says, "Where attention goes, money flows." So that's what you're trying to do through all these, whether it's talking about your new employees that you need, or you're talking about your products, or you're talking about your Christmas party, or anything. Where attention goes, money flows. The things that we watch constantly are going to produce money. That's what your whole goal is of promotion, is get eyeballs on you.
Yep.
The more the better.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. With that, even just that section had a whole life-changing takeaway on there. Another big takeaway for the business owners, that was what they kicked us off at, was 2/3 of your employees are disengaged. To me, that just speaks so clearly, because I'm a big processes and procedures kind of person. I love to build team. And that's the first thing they went into this 3-day conference with, is you as the business owner, how are you engaged with your employees, and are they engaged with you? And even a bigger statistic of that, and that was from a Gallup poll, 18% of those that were interviewed are admittedly sabotaging the
Sabotage. Can you believe that? I believe it, but that's just mind-boggling. 18% of employees are sabotaging the company.
Right.
That's not just disengaged. And they started out, like you said, the first day, they said that's your number one problem in business. The number one problem in your business, employee disengagement. Employee disengagement. And why? They answered that question too. And it says financial illiteracy at every level is the major reason for disengagement. People don't know about money. Your employees don't know about money. They will disengage. So talk to them, get them on a good plan, get them thinking about profit, thinking about their personal wealth and those things. If they care about their money, they're going to care about your money.
Exactly. That I do love that so much, because I think about even my own personal life and my journey, and all my different careers and things that have happened in my personal life. And I think about the times when I was really, really struggling. I couldn't be possibly, no matter how slick I thought I was, doing the very best job. Even though I was a faithful employee, I thought I was doing my best. But a lot of my mind consumption, instead of being focused on work, was focused on this problem or that problem. How do I pay this bill? What is this going to happen? What if this happens? And so I wasn't able to fully focus. So it really does make so much sense when you as the business owner can have the conversation to do the PPFs, which Daniel's about to do with Model My Home. We do them here at HSRA every quarter, and that's your personal, professional, and financial goals. But they took it one step further in encouraging the business owners to actually talk about the finances. Like, obviously, if your employees don't want to talk about it, no problem. But what about that employee who just doesn't know? Who, you could give them some tips. Obviously, you're successful, you're a business owner, maybe you were raised differently, maybe you were taught differently, maybe you come from a different type of family, whatever that is. Any information to educate them and empower them to do better in life and have opportunities to make more money, to do more things, to take care of their family, is going to benefit your business, because they're always going to remember that, and they're always going to work harder for that business because of it. And they're going to get like pride for themselves.
Absolutely. And that leads me to another quote that was a big takeaway. And it says, whatever you don't talk about will become a problem. If you don't talk about finances, if you don't talk about salaries, if you don't talk about those things with your employees, they're going to become problems. And that's the reason it's their money problems or your money problems. These stats are 76% of people live paycheck to paycheck. 64% have no money in savings. 90% have no clue of their biggest expense in their household. So it's mind-boggling. But people don't think about it. They don't talk about it. It's going to be a problem. So talk about it with your employees. Get together with them. Talk about personal, professional, financial goals.
Yeah. And I'm really excited for you to do that at Model My Home. I know we've always done the PPFs for the last couple of years. However, I don't think we've taken it that next step forward with that. I'm really excited to go over mine with Jana when she gets back and just kind of talk through it. I can actually say that over the last, I think we've been doing it now for 2 years, the PPFs on a quarterly basis. And you better bet when that quarter's coming up, I'm like, okay, one of my goals this year was to get a gym that I could create in my garage, right? And so and thinking that that's coming up, I'm like, well, I got the treadmill. So I got one piece of it, right? Like, I may not have hit that full goal. I got the treadmill and I got some weights. So what's the next thing? Maybe I need the padding for the floor, whatever that looks like. But at least I'm moving towards that goal, and having someone hold you accountable for that is really good, and then they can see the growth in you as well. And, halfway through my real estate principles, that was another goal. So I'm halfway there. So as long as you're moving forward and the motion is forward, I think that's awesome.
And I think that without setting those goals and talking about it, where you're moving, you said moving forward, but moving forward toward what? If you at least sit down and have a basic list of things, I want to do this. I want to get my own place. I want to get a new car. I want to build a gym. I want to get my license. All of those things, if they're not written down and looked at somewhere, you'll be going forward, but forward toward what? We have no idea. So at least it gives you a little bit of focus to get it down. Employees living paycheck to paycheck, people aren't thinking about how far out I can do that. But you can turn their minds just a little bit and get a lot more successful and efficient employee, because their mind is free of, how am I going to feed my family? That's a tough one to overcome.
Yeah.
The financial goals will do it.
Exactly. And Jen always says, if it's not written, it's not real.
It's not real.
Put that into perspective, get it implemented into your business. I know that we took some souvenirs home. I have this 10X journal here, and I don't know if you implement this into your business if you're watching, but one of the big things that they do at Cardone is they write their goals daily, like literally by the hour, what they're going to do, a quote of the day. They train every morning. And so just getting that different type of mindset empowers your employees. Like, they may little hem and haw about it a little bit. Let's just be, honest. Like, I don't want to watch this, training. But what happens is it starts to soak in, and then they start to recite some of this. Then they start doing some of this, and then they realize that they're being successful in things, and then their mindset shifts. And I think that's really, really an amazing thing. And I was even talking to one of the people that work at Cardone, and I asked them, I said, when you have your new staff that comes in and they have to do training, I think it's 20 minutes a day on Cardone U, I was like, is that something that the company pays for that time? Like, they come to work at 8, from 8 to 8:20, everyone's sitting at their desk watching. He said, absolutely not. They have to do this before they come to work. And when we have our morning huddle, like, we pull the report, it literally tells us who watched it before coming to work. And I thought, wow, that's some discipline right there and some structure. But they're very profitable. They're a very successful company. They have very strict guidelines that they build these people up to be successful.
Yeah. So, and that reporting is such a key to it too, because Without that, we don't know where our success or our failure lies without some type of reporting. And another quote by Grant was, the more important the task, the more often I want to report on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty much summed up day 1. Day 2 was all about sales, which I'm not going to get too much into because we have a sales mastermind coming up. We'd love for you to join us. It's in Las Vegas, July 26th. If you're going to Las Vegas market, Jan is actually speaking on the 27th. We'd love for you to stop by there as well. But I would love to know your takeaways, Dan, from day 3. And that one was 10x your results, scaling your business, and then the executive panel.
Yeah, scaling your business was really the most important topic for me, because that's what we're doing right now at Model My Home. Is we have been through this phase. We're doing well. We're going to produce a couple $1 million this year, top line. But our goal is to go 10 plus next year. And so in order to do that, we have to figure out a way to scale. Well, there's a lot of aspects to that come involved. And number one is that open transparency, talk about money. So immediately when we got back, I went ahead and developed a kind of a growth timeline, a career path. And so we have stagers, right? So now we have our stagers divided into assistant stagers, lead stagers, and special project stagers. So when you sit down with a new employee, or when I'm going to go through the PPFs with our current employees, I'm going to identify where they are and where they want to be and give them a path so that they know this is the mountain I'm trying to climb. And we drew it like it's a mountain, by the way, because it is pushing the rock up a hill, right? So, but that was, I think, very, very important, just to get the general basis down with all the employees and get them to buy in to the fact that we're about to try to produce 5 times as much results as we did before. It doesn't mean it has to be 5 times the work, though, if we can get their early buy-in on that. So I thought that was really important, because scaling means growing. So we're going to be adding people. We're going to be adding more work to people that were already currently there. So they've got to figure out a way that it's going to be more efficient in what they're trying to do. So that was great for scaling for us.
Awesome. Yes, I saw your chart and I was like, I can't wait to implement this with our HSRA members. It's going to be amazing. I do think that in staging companies, because we're not a corporate business yet. We have a few members that are probably big enough to be corporate, but we're not necessarily a small business. Of course, we have our, entrepreneurs, or the people that wear all the hats. But for the most part, staging businesses are a little mix of like small business and corporate. They have to have the structure and the rules, the processes and procedures in order to scale the business, but they don't quite have as many employees that you would need to get there. So I believe a lot of times there's a lot of turnover in staging companies because they don't see the bigger picture. This chart that we're going to give to our HSRA members, once it's fully developed, will give your employees somewhere that they can go, that they can see growth in themselves, in their company. And that only works for the better of our business owners, because now they can scale their company because they know what path, So absolutely. I think that's really exciting.
And we added it not just for stagers. Those are probably the middle of the business, but we added it for our warehouse. We have them coming in and they're going to be a loader, or they're going to be a packer. That's a special skill to be able to Tetris all that stuff in there. Or they're going to be a lead stager. I mean, a lead, driving the truck. They're going to be a driver, basically. Or they could be a team lead. And all of these go up the mountain, but there's more mountain beyond that, because then you can become a director of a department. You can become an executive. You can be a vice president, or, whatever the scale is. But we wanted to show them there's a future here. Even if you're working the warehouse packing truck right now, guess what? You could get to be a driver. And we associated the pay with each of those. We're going to try to be as transparent as possible. And I'll tell you one success story real quick, Laurie. And that was, I hired a girl yesterday that's going to be a new stager for us. And I showed her the chart and I said, we're not going to start you an assistant. You got talent, you got skills. We're going to start you at stager. And this is what it pays. And just because it was written down and I said it like it was authority, I said, will that work for you? And I know for a fact that she wanted top dollar. But because of the way I presented it, and it's part of our culture and this is how we do it, even though I just created it that day, I still had to say it like, this is how it works. Are you on board with that? And she said, definitely. If that's what it pays, then that's what I'll do. I'll work for you for that. Wow. And so, man, what a success.
right away, right off the bat, right off coming from that. And I do think that when people go into interviews, they have a number in their head that they're willing to accept. And so, you know, of course, they're always going to want to get as much as they possibly can. But I love the transparency. We learned that from the boot camp. I love that you implemented it right away, that you're already seeing a reward on it, getting that new employee. So it's awesome. And it was such an awesome time. We're so thankful to Jana for bringing us her whole executive team along with her to learn, share, grow, network, and now implement all the things that we learned. So awesome. Well, that was great takeaways for today. Thank you for your time. I know Model My Home is super busy, so you had to jump in real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Love that. Yeah. Be sure to reach out to us, myhsra.com. Schedule a discovery call. We want to talk to you, and we'll be back here same time, same place next week. Thanks.
Thank you.